What is up, everyone? Welcome, episode 29. That was super uncomfortable of Meet the Press. Thank you all for joining us again. Jared, I know where you've been all weekend, but how's your weekend, man?
It was a work weekend. I mean, it wasn't
Yeah.
bad by any means, but it wasn't great. I was pretty much, on desk all weekend designing pages. So,
Yeah,
it's
I
nice to have a
had
job, but
a long Saturday that was capped off by a 4-hour football game.
4-hour game. Why was it so long?
Um, certain people had to talk about things at a high rate.
Like officials? Are we talking about video review? Because I've been to games where there's been a lot of video review.
Yeah, there were several that, and there's kind of like general like conferences. Like, you
Gotcha.
know how they like huddle up at times and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it kind
like
of
things
takes
like that.
away from the flow of the game and then just
Yeah, that
drags.
was one thing. Like, it was really hard to get into like a rhythm
Hmm.
was because I mean you feel like you get a couple 3-4 plays of like positive yardage and then there's like a flag for a hole or something. Like you
Yeah.
just like can't get into that flow. And it it sucks for the game and it sucks as a viewer because what is it in football? There's like 7 minutes of actual action. It's something like it's some ridiculously low number.
Oh yeah, probably.
Um, but yeah, it hurts the flow of the game. Like it makes you disinterested, and yeah, it was just a long day. But I mean, it was football. It was fun.
Yeah.
So
No, I've said it for a while now. I love going to football games.
yeah,
That's like one of my favorite parts of my job. But football is so much more entertaining to watch on TV because of
yeah,
the production of it, especially NFL
yeah.
football, to be honest.
And again, and we talked about this last week. As I was watching the what two games was that? Where was I watching earlier? Bengals, Steelers. Um,
That
whew,
was a dumpster fire.
man, that was a fun one. And Bears 49ers, which was a dumpster fire in its own way because there's no way a dumpster would have been on fire today in Chicago. Because did you see the field? Did you see
Yeah,
Soldier Field today?
yeah. One of the kickers got penalized for bringing out a towel or something, didn't he?
Oh, I don't know. I
I
don't
think it was
remember that
something
part.
weird. But
But like,
yeah, I saw there was a ton of missed field goals in that game. I
yeah,
mean, there was a ton of missed kicks everywhere.
there's the missed kicks everywhere, missed kicks in OT. We already had a tie. Um, yeah, it's been a weird first week of football. Did
Should
you
we
watch?
extend the preseason?
No.
Should we just eliminate it?
Yeah, or two
I
games.
mean, it's pretty useless.
Or two games. I would be good with
Yeah,
two.
yeah. I mean, the starters barely play in those games anyway. So
Yeah, I mean, I think. Do you watch Hard Knocks? We talked about Hard Knocks on here
no,
before.
is that on HBO?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you
Yeah,
don't
no,
do
I don't
HBO.
watch HBO.
I know you don't watch HBO. This year it was the Lions, and it's always cool to see. I say cool because an adult just got told that they're not good enough to continue their dream. It's not cool in that sense, but it's interesting, like seeing in those meetings. I don't know if it's actually how it is in those meetings. I hope it is. I don't know, but like you see that process of coaches going through like cuts and everything, and I know it's hard to get to that 52, 54 man, whatever it is, and but those like first 20, 30 guys, I feel like you know who they are,
Yeah, that's because you're
and
paying them millions of dollars,
yeah, you're paying
and you're
them
not going to cut that.
yeah, a decent amount. And I think if you shortened it to like two preseason games, I think that would still give those fringe guys enough. And then
Yep.
if you want to get like your like skill guy or like guys that are like loggers, like do like a 7-on-7 thing or something, or like I don't know.
Well, I mean,
But I think
a lot of those fringe guys anyway are going to still be around the team as like practice squad,
right, yeah,
type of deals anyway. So they're either going to make it or they're going to be
right.
practice squad or they're just going to get cut outright. So
Did you watch much football? Like, did you watch
This
the game
weekend?
Thursday? The game of the week?
Thursday.
Yeah.
Thursday. Not real. No, I didn't. I was
Okay.
trying to figure out where I was Thursday. I was watching a volleyball match.
Oh,
Did
yeah.
not get to watch the game. I had some on today. Was trying to follow along, mostly because I needed to know when games are over so I could get little capsules in the paper.
Right. Yeah.
And yesterday I was kind of same deal with college football, but also I just like college football more, so I wanted to pay attention.
I think the Bills are going to win the Super Bowl, man. I really do.
Yeah, they've got a good shot.
Like, I don't know what I would do.
I mean, they could do that, or they could make it to the Super Bowl and lose. But
I'm just going to go ahead and tell you this podcast would be better if they won a Super Bowl. I'm just going to let you know that. I think it would be better.
did it surprise you how good they were?
I don't even think they were good on Thursday. Like, honestly, like they were good on all. I mean, the interception by Allen, I don't think obviously was not his fault. I mean, the turnovers, I wish they would clean up defensively. I mean, you hold the Rams to 10 points and you shut them out in the second half. I'm like, that's pretty good. But I just think, I don't know. It's weird because I've seen some really bad Bills football in the last 18 years. And I don't know, man. But we're going to win the Super Bowl, so it doesn't matter. So, yeah.
I mean, they were pretty good last year too, and they had, they were hyped up pretty well in the offseason. So I mean, it's not a shock for you to say that. I think it's a legitimate chance they have.
Do you think that's a weird thing? Because it's like, who's your baseball team? Do you have a baseball team?
I grew up a Yankees fan, but I've kind of gotten out of being a fan of most teams, like just across the board because of doing this.
Right.
I grew up a Yankees fan.
So, like, okay, Yankees are a bad example because they won
Because they were expected to win every year.
Yeah, they're expected to win. But so, like, think about like if you were like a fan of a normal team, like you're run of the mill, mid level team. In your heart of hearts, you think every year in, year out, your team is going to win. Insert championship name here. Yes.
Yeah. No, I understand what you're saying.
How often do you believe that actually?
I think some fans truly believe it every year. But
do you really think that?
No, there are definitely some that think that. And then there are some that are negative every single year. You get both sides of it. Then there are the middle of the pack ones, like you're saying, where it's like most of the time it's like, yeah, they could be decent. Don't expect them to win it all. I think that's most of the time.
Well, like when oh man, who's that Florida State quarterback? EJ Manuel. When EJ Manuel was the quarterback of the Buffalo Bills, did I think we were going to win the Super Bowl? No. If someone asked me, do I think my team could win the Super Bowl? I would say yes. So, like, I genuinely did not think that there was a chance of us winning a Super Bowl with EJ Manuel as our quarterback. But I would say it every day of the week.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I grew up a Steelers fan too. Like I said, I've kind of gotten out of like being a fan of teams that don't follow along specifically enough. The Steelers this year, I could say that, especially after that win today over the Bengals. But I don't know if Mitch Trubisky's that guy. I don't know if the rest of the guys are that guy.
He learned a lot last year, so
yeah. But I mean, did you watch any of that game? You said you did, right?
Yeah. I watched most of that one.
Bengals Steelers.
Yep.
That was a pretty ugly game. It was super entertaining though.
It
was like watching a car crash. You can't look away.
I honestly, in one of the DM groups I have on Twitter, it's the opposite of the one that it's the one with like just Ed and Brian and all them. And they were talking about like Burrow and stuff and like, oh, he's down and stuff like that. And then I was going on, obviously with my card hobby, I'm in a lot of groups on Facebook and stuff like that. And a lot of people were saying like, oh, better post those Burrows now. They're not going to be worth much next week. And I'm like, man, it is super crazy how like fast like things like that go down. Yeah, it wasn't. It was like one of those really bad games that is good.
Hmm.
Um,
It's an entertaining game, not a good game.
yeah, I guess that's right. I mean, Chase had some good catches. Um, there was that one from Claypool where like it was near the end zone and like he went too far and the pass was behind him a little bit. He like stuck out his arm, just like grabbed it and pulled it back. That was a pretty good play. Yeah, it was a fine football game. And then you have the Bears game that literally was played in like standing water.
Yeah, I mean, you had those two. You had a game end in a tie for Week 1. Colts
Right,
Texans
already.
2020. Did you watch the Titans game?
I watched none of the Titans game, but
Yeah, I was sitting here waiting on that, so I had it streaming and stuff. But
they lost, right?
yeah, Giants came back. I think they were 13 down
Woo.
and won it. Scored in the final minute. Titans drove down the field, had a chance at a 47-yard field goal as time expired, and Randy Bullock missed it.
I was just gonna say, is Randy Bullock still their kicker?
Yep. I don't
Yeah.
know how he's in the league.
I
Like,
feel like he's been around forever.
I'm pretty sure like 5 or 6 years ago when I was at the Ledger, I did like a silly little sidebar. It wasn't probably any good because it was back at the beginning of my career
Right. Yeah,
about
of
him
course.
missing a ton of field goals with the Bengals.
I remember whenever didn't he play for the Texans too? Am I misremembering that?
He's been around the block.
Um,
Uh, he did play for the Giants, I believe, who was the team that beat the Titans on Sunday. But
um, Texans. Started his career with the Texans, Jets, Giants, Steelers, Bengals, Titans. Yeah.
I know you were busy most of the day. Did you
Yeah,
have
right.
anything more to say on the? I was gonna say I know you were busy most of the day on Saturday.
Right, yeah.
But are you a college football fan normally? I know you're a big sports bettor, but
Yeah.
do you throw down money on these games?
I didn't. Like,
Probably a good thing this past
yeah,
weekend.
man. Um, so yeah, like I didn't watch any football Saturday. Like I kept up with scores just because like last night when I was in the press box, like there I may like see a score come across a ticker or something like that. So I kept up with a little bit last night. I hear you know what it's like. It's weird being in a because we had events all day yesterday at SIU in preparation for the game last night, and there's kind of like it's a good energy like around like the facility, like everybody's like in that like sport mode, and like and everybody was talking about Notre Dame. Everybody was talking about those things and game and the Nebraska and Scott Frost and oh yeah, Scott Frost got fired. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you just
Well,
like pick up on little
that
things.
was probably the least crazy thing that happened this weekend.
Yeah,
I think everybody was kind of expecting it. I'm pretty sure I
um,
saw though that if they had waited until like after October 1, his buyout would have been cut in half or something like that.
so I
Like there would
will
have been like $7.5 million off the buyout or something crazy like that. I don't know the exact number off the top of my head.
I will give they lost to
Georgia Southern, Clay
so
Helton.
okay. So I will give a shout out to Lindsay Lindsay Goff. I don't know if you know. She's from like Union
I
County.
know
Like, okay, no,
we've
of
never
her.
met, but we know we
Right.
Twitter know each other. That's the
Twitter,
sports we
right.
know with.
So she's posted, I think she reshared it today. I saw it somewhere, but she retweeted a while back, quote retweeted somebody and was like, what's your completely random non-con upset? And she said Georgia Southern over Nebraska because I think she covers like Georgia Southern down
Yeah,
in southern Georgia. Um because that's where it's at. That's where it's at.
can't argue.
But like 3 Sunbelt teams won yesterday
Yeah,
over like Georgia Southern, at
Marshall over Notre Dame.
Marshall over
At
Notre Dame,
Yeah,
um,
App State
App
over
State
A&M.
over A&M. Yeah,
App State's good this year, man. They
Yeah.
almost beat UNC that first week. That game was crazy too.
Yeah, that's yeah, I love yeah, man, Notre Dame, dude. Like first Notre Dame coach like to lose his first 3 games, is that what I saw?
They've lost 2.
Oh, well, I'm sorry, because he also coached the bowl game last year.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, 0-2, 0-2 this year. That's tough.
I mean, they're always seem to be a little bit overhyped.
I
That
mean,
first game. I mean, you're playing a top 5 Ohio
I
State
just realized
team in your first game.
I never answered your question earlier
I don't even know what my question was.
when you asked if I'm a college football fan. So I like college football from the aspect of I like football, but I've just never watched as much college football. I've watched more college football now in the last few years than I did when I was younger. Um, but I do like college football. I watch more now than I used to. Also Kentucky.
Yeah, we were gonna get there.
Oh shit, my
We were
bad.
gonna get there. I mean,
My bad. Okay. But yes, I like college football. To answer that question.
so Kentucky, since none of us have brought it up yet, they go down to the swamp and beat Florida. Do you think the Cats are for real?
Man, yeah, I think so. I really do because number one, and I think this may be the most important, they're pissed. Like they got called soft. Like people still say Kentucky was a basketball school. Like they're mad. And to come out and do that, I think they're for real, man. I mean, they're number 9 in the freaking country. Like
Yeah,
you tell me Kentucky is number 9 in the country, your first thought is not football. I'm sorry, it's not. Today it is. That's awesome. I think it's great.
yeah.
Like Kentucky's
I,
number
I,
9 in the country in football.
I still think there's still that perception there because I mean,
Yeah,
nobody expected them to go beat Florida.
yeah. I mean
It'll
that's
probably be
fair.
the same way,
I don't even
other
know.
places. I feel like people will count them out. So I don't know if,
Yeah, that's a weird
in
thing.
that sense, it's
Do you think? I mean that's a good point. So this weekend they have Youngstown at home,
Northern Illinois after that.
and then Northern after that, and then
They tend to play
going to
a
conference.
very weak non-conference schedule.
They
Now the
do,
SEC is a gauntlet, but their
yeah.
non-con is
Non-conference isn't
very
great. Youngstown, Pride of the MVFC, um, and then they go back into conference and go to Ole Miss. But I think obviously they're going to be favoring these next 2 games, 100%, right?
yes,
Youngstown, Northern at home.
yeah.
They win these next 2 games. They're what 4-0? 4-0 going into Ole Miss at home. Ole Miss on the road in Oxford.
In Oxford.
In Oxford. Are they favored? Granted, Ole Miss is 20 right now.
Yeah, I would assume so. Just
Ole
because
Miss has at Georgia Tech and home against Tulsa. So we're just going to assume that they're going to win both of those 2 and they'll be higher than 20. So
yeah,
do you think Kentucky's still favored?
yeah. At this point, I do.
I think that's going to be the most telling thing. I think I'm going to tweet this out after this show because I want this on record. If Kentucky and Ole Miss are both, is Ole Miss 4-0?
Ole Miss, they're 2-0.
2-0, right? That's what I meant. 2-0.
They beat Troy and they beat someone else.
Central Arc.
Yeah, Central Arc handled them pretty easily.
If Kentucky and Ole Miss go into that game, both teams 4-0. Kentucky will obviously be higher in the AP rankings. And if Kentucky is favored over Ole Miss going into Oxford, I think Kentucky football has a legitimate chance at being in the college football playoff. Maybe not that far, but I think that I think they'll be a legitimate contender. I think they'll have a legitimate conversation. If you go into that game favored and you win, you have to win. You don't win, it doesn't matter. But if you go into that game favored and you win, I think you deserve to be in that conversation.
Yeah, I mean, because you look at the rest of the schedule, South Carolina. You know, if they beat Ole Miss, they'll probably be favored in that. Mississippi State, Tennessee, and Knoxville. You'd have to beat them.
Woo! Yeah, got to be
Yeah,
Tennessee and Knoxville. Holy
Tennessee
crap!
rose to
Man.
number 15 this year. This week beat Pittsburgh, I believe, in Pittsburgh. Overtime game. Then they go to Missouri, host Vanderbilt. They get Georgia at home this year. So,
Dude, just think if
there's a good chance if they can beat Tennessee too on October 29th,
dude,
they could set up an unbeaten matchup with Georgia.
that game in Knoxville, if both teams are still undefeated, will be bananas.
Where's Western that week?
Where's what's a Tennessee stadium called? It's like two things, right?
Neyland.
Neyland. Okay. Yeah.
Have you seen that old interview with the Alabama football fan where he just trashes on Tennessee?
No.
Oh my gosh, he's like, I hate Neyland Stadium. It looks like a garbage truck worker convention.
I think that'll be, man.
Louisville also snuck out of UCF with a win on Friday night. Did you see any of that?
I saw none of that. I honestly,
that's probably a good thing.
I forgot it was a game. I forget that there's like decent football sometimes on Friday because most of the time it's not awesome. And there's a lot of like and mostly I'll follow like high school stuff Friday night just because.
I didn't watch a ton of it. I just kind of flipped it on. I was most of the day Friday. I got the most of the day off because it was the bye week and I knew I was going to be in the office all weekend, so I took a motorcycle trip up to E-Town and had some barbecue. So.
Oh yeah, you went to
D's Butts.
D's Buds. I didn't do that just because I wanted to hear you say it. I legitimately forgot where you went.
No. But
how was it? Was it good?
It was, in the grand scheme of things, in the grand scheme of American barbecue, it was very middle of the road. Yeah, it was fine. Like if I was there, I would definitely go back. For Kentucky barbecue that I've had, it was, probably better than a lot of them. But, the vibe in there was pretty cool. It's a nice little drive from Bowling Green on the bike. So I enjoy that aspect of it too.
Dude, we had, before the game yesterday, we had like all the motorcycles drive in the stadium. And during kickoff, they were like right before kickoff, they like rev their engines and stuff. And one of our GAs was on the field, like directing them. And he came over to the side and he said, "Oh, yo, dude, look at my arm." And he still had chills on his arm from the motorcycles driving by.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Did you say, was it you that snapped me that you waved at was that you? That was you, because the only person I know that would do that. That was you.
Yeah. Man, I was out riding and I saw like a single light coming at me. I threw down the biker wave, and then as it's going by,
is it just two fingers or what?
Yeah, like down by the side. Yeah.
Yeah. I knew. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and it was like starting to get dark, so like couldn't really see fully, and then when I as it got closer, I was like, "Damn, that's a scooter." The guy just looks at me and doesn't wave back, and my confidence was shook. Oh man, it took a big shot to my ego. Got rejected by a scooter.
You did? Was it at least like a dope scooter?
No. Is there a dope scooter?
Yeah, I feel like there are. Dude, I'll send you a picture of it tomorrow or Sunday or whenever I see it, whenever he drives it in. But our volleyball coach has like a sick Indian motorcycle. It is ridiculous.
I like Indians.
Yeah. Never mind. I was going to ask, have you seen? And then I thought, who am I talking to?
Was it a movie?
Yeah, it was a movie. Yeah. It's called The World's Fastest Indian. It's got Anthony Hopkins. And he tries to like break like the land speed record on an Indian motorcycle. or not like the land speed record, but like the record for a motorcycle. I don't know, whatever. It's a super good movie, so you should check it out. Being a
biker dude,
big bad biker dude that you are, yes.
I've joked that I'm trying to start a biker gang. It's currently just one person right now, and that's me. So if anybody listening is interested,
what would you call it?
Right now, I'm leaning on Jared's biker gang. Not much thought has gone into that.
It's gonna
maybe if I market it better.
Yeah, I feel like your clientele is maybe somewhat limited. I don't know. Do you have biker friends around BG?
No, I don't have biker friends anywhere.
We really need to find.
I'm a lone wolf.
We gotta find you some biker friends, man.
I just got an update on my phone from ESPN about bowl projections. It's the Kyle Bonagura. I don't know how to say his name, and Mark Slobach. And they've got Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, Georgia as their semifinals, and Georgia, USC, Georgia, Clemson as the other semifinals. So they did not have Kentucky.
So that's obviously banking on the fact that Georgia is beating Kentucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean,
are you gonna say Georgia can lose to Kentucky and still make it?
No, I would say that. But
that's probably
I think if Kentucky beats Tennessee, wins out except for Georgia, but plays very good against Georgia, they would still be in consideration. One of them has Kentucky going to the All-State Sugar Bowl.
I think if that has to happen, then Georgia has to have 2 losses. They have to lose the SEC championship game, and they have to have one other loss going into that. Yeah. I think that's the only way that happens. I think Georgia has to have 2 losses for Kentucky. And literally, I know this is week 2, but I think that's the only way Kentucky would leapfrog Georgia, is if Georgia has 2 losses.
Unless
Kentucky beats Georgia.
Yeah. I don't know. It's all a big mess. I like looking at these to see where they think Western Kentucky is going to go.
Oh, yeah. Where are you going?
I don't see this happening.
Ooh. Is it a good one? Let me guess. Where's it at? Is it a cool place?
I can't tell you where it's at.
Oh, yeah. Is it a cool place? Like, is that if you tell me the place, will I know it instantly?
I mean, I would like going there better for a bowl game because it would mean more time there.
Okay. What area of the country?
I can't say. It's the middle of the Pacific Ocean.
Oh. So west. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Hawaii Bowl. One of them has them playing San Jose State. One of them has them playing Air Force in the Hawaii Bowl. Traveling to Hawaii twice for a team's a lot.
I was gonna say, I don't know,
2-month period.
Man. Yeah, that would be a lot.
It's on Christmas Eve too, at 8 p.m. I don't know if that's 8 Eastern or 8 Hawaiian or 8 Central or what,
but it sounds. Oh my gosh! If that's 8 Hawaiian, it can't be 8 Hawaiian.
Yeah, no, because that would be
like 1 a.m.
That would be 2 a.m. Central.
Yeah. That can't be. Yeah, it can't be. So it's like that'd be like 2 or 3 p.m.
Yeah, I don't think that would be a good location for them because even fans, like, it's an expensive trip for fans, and if they want anybody to show up to that game,
right? That's true.
I mean, unless they're fairly well to do, money wise, that's a lot of money to be dishing out.
Speaking of money, sorry, what?
No, I've got no idea. I was curious what you were saying. Speaking of money, are you gonna make a pitch to people who want to sponsor this podcast?
No, but if you do, I think you should. I was gonna say I saw the the Jamar sign billboard in Bowling Green. I saw a picture of it.
I did see a picture of that as well. I've not
Yeah.
seen it in person yet.
I don't know, obviously, where it's at because
I had it sent to me. I can tell you exactly where it's at. For those who don't know, Jamar is Jamarion Sharp. He's the 7'5" center on the Western Kentucky basketball team, Hopkinsville native. Russellville Road going towards campus. It's a picture of him holding out his arms, palming 2 basketballs, goes across the entire thing, and it says "Big things happening." And then under that, in like cursive, "On the hill."
yeah, I think that's awesome.
Can't even see it on
No,
the
no,
computer camera's not great.
no, it's okay. Yeah, it's cool though. People should see it. No, I think that's awesome though. I did want to talk about that. Um, I've known Jamarian since 2017. So like for the last 5 years, seeing him at now 3 different levels, yeah, that's super cool to see a dude that I don't know, man, like just cool, just cool. But yeah,
No explanation. Just
no explanation. It's just cool. It's just a cool thing. Who is your prize pick of the week, Jared McDonald? Since you go first while I think about it.
oh, you don't have yours picked out yet? Man, I've got 2 honorable mentions that kind of go hand in hand, and then my actual one. So
Okay.
I'll talk for a while so you can get the hang of things.
Oh, I already got it now. I'm good. I'm set.
Oh, okay. Okay. No, then I'm
Yeah,
done.
set.
No. Anyway, my 2 honorable mentions goes back to our college football discussion. One guy was on staff at Western football the last 3 years as offensive coordinator, for 2 years co-offensive coordinator last year. He was also with the program 3 years back in the earlier part of the the 2010s. The other guy was an offensive coordinator for Western Kentucky last year. The first one I was talking about was Brian Ellis, now the OC at Georgia Southern. They beat Nebraska 45-42 in Lincoln on Saturday. They're now 2-0, have averaged 52 points and 573 yards of offense.
Average 573 yards of offense?
Average. They had like 600 something against Nebraska.
Holy smoke.
On the road in Nebraska. Yeah. Clay Helton cut a promo for ticket sales for their next game at UAB on the field in Nebraska right after the game, thanking the fans for coming to Nebraska and saying, "We need you in Birmingham," which was that's better than planting a flag, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's that's big time.
Yeah, but the other guy, Zach Killey, who was Western Kentucky's offensive coordinator last year, he's also off to a 2-0 start with his new team. He's the Texas Tech offensive coordinator now. Got to go back home. They beat number 25 Houston in some extra periods. I don't remember if it was 1 or 2 overtime, but they're now averaging 48 points and 536 and a half yards in their 2-0 start. So those are just the honorable mentions. This is a stacked week, man.
Man, all right.
My actual Prize Pig Award winner of the week that I'm giving a shout out to is Travis Hudson, Western Kentucky's volleyball coach. On Thursday, he picked up the 700th win of his coaching career. It all came at Western Kentucky. I believe he's the 10th active winningest Division I head coach. So he's up there in elite company. I believe he's top 20 all time in Division I in terms of winning percentage. He's been there going on. This is his 28th year now. They're off to a 9-1 start after sweeping the Holiday Inn University Plaza Invitational at Diddle Arena this past weekend. So he's at 702 wins now, I believe, and they go to Tennessee Tuesday night.
Ooh, that'd be a good one. Is that a good one?
I don't know much about Tennessee volleyball. Got to be completely honest with you.
Well, that's what we strive for on this show, Jared, is honesty.
I know our Tennessee volleyball fans that subscribe will be disappointed, but
gosh, I hope we get an email. Wouldn't that be the most random thing? Tennessee volleyball email. No, those are good ones.
I wish anybody would email us, honestly.
Yeah, I know.
what is it? Meet the Press Podcast at gmail.com.
Pod.
Meet the Press Pod at gmail.com.
Yeah. So mine, I'm also going to stick with the college athletics theme. Yesterday afternoon before the game, we had a Title IX luncheon at SIU that I hung out, took photos at, and got to listen to the panel, which was led by Deanna Price, Olympian, former SIU thrower, champ, all those things. Now going to be up at Illinois. But Charlotte West, Dr. Charlotte West was one of the ones like on the panel who, I mean, was a pioneer in the Title IX formation. She was I think literally coached every freaking sport at SIU. The softball stadium is named after her. Like she told a bunch of stories yesterday that were super cool. We had former players, coaches. I know the former golf coach, the women's golf coach that was there. A friend of mine, one of her former players, was in the crowd, and they were going back and forth and talking about like things that they had to like go through years ago. And she asked about like the women's golf jerseys, and the person that I knew said, "Oh, well, our jerseys weren't even maroon. Like their jerseys that they wore, like the polos that they wore, were hand-me-down Georgia Bulldog men's polos." And just because that's how it went, and that's what they needed to do. So yeah, shout out to them. Luncheon was great. A bunch of the women's teams at SIU were there, so that was super cool. Also, women's soccer, our women's soccer team is 3 wins this year, which is great. Only like third or fourth year having a program. I think we're like 3-2-1, 3-2-1, which is like a weird soccer thing. But yeah, so yeah, those are mine.
Those are solid.
Where you at next weekend? Where you at next weekend?
Indiana,
Indiana,
the Arkansas of the North.
That's harsh.
It's an 11 a.m. kick. So.
Oh, that'd be fun, though.
Yeah, I should be back.
Yeah.
Not terribly.
How far is that? Like 5 hours?
Like 3.5, 4, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's probably like
might lose an hour or two, so I don't know.
Oh, are they Eastern?
They might be Eastern.
I don't know. I don't know where Bloomington is. Isn't that where it's at?
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. I'll figure it out.
You got time. Man.
I'll get to put a new pin in my map. Yeah.
All right, everyone. Thank you for hanging out with us this week. We will see you next week.